Hey, what is up, everybody? Thanks again for tuning in. Today, we are going to go through what I have to say is probably the easiest in terms of bar of effort or forethought, but potentially one of the most powerful things you can do to extend guest reservations within Airbnb, or direct booking if you're managing your short-term rental in that way, and in doing so increase ADR and occupancy levels, which of course if you're trying to shift from managing one or even just managing one really well, and you're trying to put on a little bit more of a professional hat, which I think a lot of the audience checking this out this is your place to do it. The place that we're sitting in right now is our multi-calendar. You know that we use our multi-calendar quite often, no matter what it is that we're up to. And what we're going to do today is something called the automated bridge message. Well, I say automated, it's previously written or auto-written. I have not figured out a way to automate this per se, just because, obviously Airbnb system is aware that if I look at this reservation gap on our 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom in East Nashville, and I zoom in just a touch, Airbnb, of course, is aware that the March 31st and April 1st dates are in fact vacant. But what you can't program within Airbnb's automated messages, which we'll review, some of those. You guys know that I'm a big fan of smart, personalized, automated messages where applicable or where possible. It does not allow you to say, if there is a vacancy on this date, then send this message to Nate. And Nate's a really good example of someone that we might send this message to. So we're going to keep the calendar view up and available. And I'm going to start by actually going to a real life success story. So this is Jen. She's coming to our 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property, also in East Nashville, a little bit deeper into East Nashville, but still really cool, kick butt area, great yard, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go, and why don't we even look at the various automated messages that are sent to these groups. So I'm not going to go into grand detail on the sauna room. Just note one of them is a, hey, we have this feature in the house. This is after, of course, the welcome message. Again, this is pre-written. This message is pre-written, but I auto send it just to avoid any type of, or I manually send it, I should say, just to avoid that I sound like a robot, because of course your first touch is your best opportunity to make an authentic or an inauthentic impression. So I really prefer to have these automated. It's quick and easy. I'm not getting 15 reservations a day. None of you are, unless you have 10 plus properties. And then this question follows after. Again, both of these are pre-written, but they are not automatically sent. And then if we go and look at what is automatically sent. So we have a sauna room. This is a feature of the house. Hey, FYI, we have this feature. It's new. You may not have noticed it. Would love for you to take advantage of it. We have the 2 days away message. 2 days away. What's your best arrival time, or what's an anticipated arrival time? And are you looking for any more recommendations as you close to come to Nashville? Okay, cool. Today's the day. That's all of your arrival details, the address, the check-in codes, et cetera, et cetera. And then one day after checkout, I have a thanks a million. It's a semi-personalized note. I really do try for every single reservation that we have. Let's take Jen as a great example. If Jen tells me during her stay, hey, we noticed that the shower head is a little wiggly, I will go here and modify this. Please let us know if we fell short on anything. To, thanks for letting us know that the shower head was a little wiggly. It's such a small lift. You don't have to do it all the time, because a lot of groups don't say anything about your place other than that they loved it. But I think that little bitty step of clear manual entry, because they know that that's not an automated message, goes a long way. Anyway, coming back to the cadence of the conversation. So I tell Jen, hey, happy to have you. Here's a list of recommendations on Google Maps. You can click this and go to where you want to go. 2 quick questions for you. There will be 4 of us. Fantastic. I gave them some suggestions out of the gate because they asked. On the food front, you know, I like this as well. I'm not scared to engage in a conversation with her, right? She says, hey, we're looking for recommendations. I'm like, well, do you like steak? Do you like Thai food? Do you like expensive? Do you like cheap? You know, let me know. This is the real focus of today's video. So let me show you what I wrote her, and then I'll show you what the manual version of this looks like, and we'll walk through a process flow of looking at multi-calendar and then sending this message. So, not sure if you have any flex in your travel plans, but wanted to put on your radar that we got a cancellation for the evening of April 16, which was taken when you booked. For these bridge days, we offer currently booked guests a 35% discount on the listed rate. Hope you're gearing up for a great time in Nashville either way. I want to note two things before I go down to her accepting and saying, yeah, we'd love to extend our stay. You already are going to offer discounts if you're using the multi-calendar the right way and you're using check-in date or time of arrival based discount profiles, which everyone should be doing. I'll link a video here where it talks about 21 days before this date comes, mark the reservation to 10% of a discount. 14 days before, have a 15% discount, and 7 days before, maybe you up that to 18%. You're already offering a discount, or you should be, for guests. Additionally, and what I love about this particular language and the way that this works is if someone is booking a 4-night stay, or they have a 3-night stay and you're offering them a 4-night stay, they already would have been upping their discount percentage of their entire reservation by, you know, potentially 5, 10, 15% if you have those types of discounts built in, which again, I absolutely encourage that you should. Let me go and give you a super quick view of what I mean by that. So if we go and we look at the shorties, longies example, you can see here that for a 2-night stay, they're getting a 3% discount, a 3-night stay, a 9% discount, and a 4-night stay, a 12% discount. And remember, this is a 9%, 12%, or 3% discount across the entire value of their stay. So let's imagine their stay is worth $1,000 and they book a 4-night stay, they're gonna save, you know, 120 bucks on that stay. Now, coming back to, I shouldn't have clicked out of that. Yeah, so coming back to Jen, I offer her this and she said, hey, yeah, we'd love to book and add the Thursday night as well. Great, I get another day. My cleaning costs are the same. I've increased my booking ratio. I also, you know, this is sort of a tangential benefit, but I've already had a dialogue with Jen. She and I have engaged with each other. We've had a conversation. I like her vibe. She trusts me. I would rather have guests that I have an interaction with staying longer at my place versus people that, you know, you have zero type of dialogue with, right? So that's, again, a small tangential benefit. Let's show how this looks in real life. So the way I typically do this is I have a reminder on my calendar to do this once a month, and I typically do it 6 weeks out. So today is March 30th. So I would go and make sure, of course, if I had gotten any, you know, sort of last minute or relatively recent bookings in April, I would go and make sure that those people had gotten a bridge day message. And then I will go and check into early May to start sending those people, because of course, if you wait too late, say you send this message 1 week before their reservation begins, the likelihood that they can then change all of their plans and fly in earlier or drive in earlier is lower. So you want to give people a little bit of a heads up to make this make sense. So I would say timing wise, the ideal timing is probably 4 to 8 weeks out, so that people have made their reservation, they're coming, they haven't canceled. And then, you know, they may have the ability to change a flight or, you know, say, hey, let's get in the car early or whatever the case may be. So as we scan across reservations that we have, let's look and see. So for Joanna, I know that I don't even need to click this button because I can't message her because this is bookended on both sides. For Christian, I see that I can't message her. This is bookended on both sides. For Nate, you know, Wednesday could be a day that he would want to come. I've already messaged him. I won't spoil it. Ryan, I could message her. So if I click Ryan, I'm going to right click, open in a new tab. I'm going to do the same for Emily, and I'm going to offer both of them the April 5th date, right? So if Ryan takes it, fantastic. If Emily takes it, fantastic. And if neither of them take it, that's okay. But in this particular case, I think this is a really good example of I don't want to have another turn to triple up, because now my costs are going up and I'm driving more, damage and use on the property. So Emily and Ryan are both going to get a message from me. I'll keep scrolling over. We'll go Larissa. Larissa's a good example. I've already sent the message to her. Jen, we just looked at it, but this is exactly the way it worked. So I'm going to go up to Ryan and let's go and look. Now, notice this. Hi there. I have some good news, I think. We got a cancellation for the evening of the 5th. Let's go and check again, right? Ryan, let's back here. April 5th, right? Make sure that it says the 5th, because of course you don't want to sound like a robot, right? You don't want to say the last night of your reservation. That's an example of too easy for you and not clear for the guest. So we got a cancellation for the evening of the 5th, which was taken. For the bridge days, we offer a 35% discount. You may say 25% discount. Depending on your occupancy, you may say a 50% discount. I mean, this is all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So you should really find what works best for your market or what that works best for your client. And then, of course, thank you for letting me know. We will be flying out that day, but is it possible to check out late? We're just engaging in a dialogue. I want to note that this is not a tangential benefit. I think this is an explicit benefit of doing this. It's ultimately customer centric to offer them something at a discount so that they could enjoy more time in a place that they've already indicated they wanted to come. That's why they booked your place. So, hey, okay, great. Let's have a dialogue. Airbnb's algorithm, as Sean Rakic has explained more times enough to make my face blue, Airbnb's algorithm is absolutely looking for you to be having a dialogue with your guest, not just, hey, thanks for booking. Here's the check-in code. Thanks for your stay, right? That's gonna earn you no brownie points with Airbnb's algorithm, and probably not earn you any 5-star reviews for communication either. So here, I offer her a slight modification. I say, around what time? Depending on how late you need, what we've done in the past is charge a $100 fee and block the entire day before arrival or checkout, right? So this is, again, not quite as much money as if she would have said, yeah, let's do the other night. But we're gonna make it work. Now, I go on to have the dialogue. She said, nope, we're all good. Now, you may be thinking, hey, this doesn't seem like it's hitting all the time. Why are you doing this? One, you're right, it doesn't hit all the time, but when it does, imagine a reservation, especially as we start moving into the busier season here in Nashville. These nights begin to become, $250, $300, $350. You only need 2 or 3 yeses each time you do this, or 2 or 3 yeses a month, or one or two yeses a month to make the 45 minutes that you spend each month to do this very worth it, right? Just from hours invested. And that's not considering the benefit and value that you get from having a really great dialogue with your customer. I'm gonna show the process of actually modifying a guest reservation, because we got someone that said, yep, I wanna do this. I wanna block off an additional day. So this person's name was Melissa. Let me scroll over to Melissa, and I believe her reservation was on May 8th, Melissa Carpaco, right? Here we go. So we're gonna scroll over and we're gonna do this live. Now, right, if you check here, you'll see again, howdy there, have some good news. Notice that this happened, earlier in March. So I was doing this, like I said, every 3 or 4 weeks I do this. She said, hey, none of us can get off work early. Okay, no problem. Did you decide what you wanted to do? Hi, we would definitely check it out. Sorry, is the 8th still an option? Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here to reservation. I'm going to change her reservation. I'm going to put the check-in on the 7th as opposed to on the 8th. I'm gonna save that. Now, it is important here that you pay attention to your original payout and your new payout. Now notice that the payouts are not what your guest paid. So guest total, including fees and taxes, is $1968.60. So let's go to Melissa. Let's go to message. Actually, I think we can view it from this window. Let's view full itinerary. And let's see what her total is. So this is not her total. Yeah. Change reservation. Here we go. So if we go there, save, right? It'll show you, now we go here and save. That's the way you get to pull up their original quote. So their original quote was $1,503.63. You can see that nothing's changed. My payout is the same. And I want to make sure I use their original guest total because of course, you know, the last thing you want to do is be like, well, I'm making $200 more, but the price difference to the customer is $300 more if you committed to them having something different, right? So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to change reservation. I'm going to change the reservation to the 7th to the 11th. Let's go back, right? 1 second. We're just gonna make sure that we note, we're just gonna make sure that we note what the price was before. It was $1,503, right? It was $1,503. And now I have a chance to go in and modify the price. This is close. $1,503. I think I quoted her $150 for the late checkout, right? So $1,503. I need to add about $25 to this, right? There we go. So $1,503, and I'll take this down to 2. It's not a perfect science, right? But $1,503, there you go. So it's a little bit less than $150. That's what I quoted her. Fantastic. My in pocket is 106.06. I would say this is a great note on trying your best to get direct reservations because Airbnb is going to take their 15.5% on every one of these adjustments that you make. So you're working for you, but you're also working for Airbnb when you do this. So do bear that in mind and make your, the effective discount that you offer to the customer worthwhile. We're going to click send request. And now they'll be able to check in as early as they want on the 8th. And the reservation will be updated and the 7th will be blocked so that no one can get in there. I'm gonna stop sharing and say, if you enjoyed this tip, please consider subscribing if you're looking for some really practical, pragmatic, and hopefully helpful and put more money in your bank kind of tips on Airbnb or short-term rental management. This is not the only thing that we do on this channel, but it's one of the things that I really am passionate about and love to do because I think it's an incredible way to turn stagnant money into capital and equity. So thanks again. Catch you all soon.